Welcome to Golden Mastermind Seminars Radio with your host, Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffery Combs, President and Founder, Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. It is exactly 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Good to be here with you on Facebook Live. Fingers are crossed that we will not have any technical difficulties today as we breathe, release in a let go energy. Topic for today's Facebook Live is your field of energy. That's the energy that you transmute. That's the energy that you're sending. That's the emotional etheric energy that you live in. So you're either going to be in anxiety, fear, or doubt, or higher consciousness. And the awesomeness of all of that is you get to choose. So if you're coming on here this afternoon on Tuesday, Facebook Live, this is Jeffery Combs. It's my privilege and pleasure to be here with you. This is around a 20-25 minute Facebook Live. This is longer than most of the Facebook Lives I do in the evening. So if you are here, and this is the original More Heart Than Talent mindset call that goes all the way back to 1999. So if you're joining me here today, thank you very much. It is my honor to be here with you. So if you're joining me live here on Tuesday, October 28th, 2025, the topic is your field of energy. For those of you who are my coaching clients and have never attended a Millionaire Blueprint, you have one more event this year that you have the opportunity to attend. If you're a former client, an existing client, or want to be a new client, this is the most recent event that will be available to you. That is December 12th and 13th of this year, 2025. Jared Andra, good to see you this afternoon. It is an honor to be here with you on the topic is your field of energy. So the energy that you transmute is a byproduct of the feelings that you are feeling. If you are feeling scarcity, lack, poverty consciousness, if you feel desperate, if you're in sales and you're not a sales professional and you're learning the skill of selling, there's a high probability that you will feel at times scarcity, lack, poverty consciousness, desperation. If you're a professional, you will feel inspiration. You will have a better understanding of the cycle of selling. You will understand that you can't win them all, that it's based on a law of average coupled with skills, habits, facts, and the ability to ask the questions in a sequence while being present. And so that energy is completely different if you're in scarcity, lack, poverty consciousness, desperate, haven't closed a sale for a long time, or intimidated by selling, worried about the outcome, and are worried about what people are going to think about you, and other worries that you will cast your burden into the future. As you are letting go and separating your feelings from the events that shape them, you are not the mind-body connection to the events of trauma, drama, and chaos that the body will hold on to. So your field of energy is the energy that you emote. It's the energy that you transmit. It's the energy that's resonating from you. It's the energy of flow, or it's the energy of lack, scarcity, poverty consciousness, and anxiety, fear, and doubt. And this is why so many salespeople or so many entrepreneurs have challenges succeeding in free enterprise because of their anxiety, fear, and doubt, which is worry about the future hasn't happened, regret from the past, and then the stories that they tell themselves. And so they're in this space of doubt that keeps them playing small in fight or flight, overreacting to the stimulus, avoiding the possibility of failing or the possibility of succeeding. The fear of failing and the fear of succeeding is the same energy, because broken down, it's the anxiety about being responsible. And now that's addict talk, and that's how an addict talks to themselves. Because an addict isn't sure if they can make it to happy hour without having a drink. They're not sure if they can make it tomorrow. The addicted dieter has to always have a candy bar as a backup plan, just in case I get hungry. They'll have it in their purse, they'll have it in their glove box, they'll have it hidden. They'll even hide 2 chocolate-covered almonds. I once knew someone that was one of their drugs of choice were chocolate-covered almonds, and they would hide them, just like I would hide vodka. Now, an addict has to have a backup plan because they don't trust themselves to have a plan. So an addict will sneak, cheat, steal to be able to fulfill that neurochemical craving, that emotional high that might happen in the future. I just spent the last hour coaching a brilliant young woman on being present and what it means to be present. Being present means in your field of energy, you have peripheral sight where you can see what's going on around you and you can feel what's going on to the side of you and behind you. And you're also in higher consciousness, you're in a state of knowing. So when you're in a selling situation or you're in a business conversation or you're in a business, you have vendors, contractors, you have prospects, you have teammates and all these situations, it's going to be your responsibility to have a better understanding of predictability and why people do what they do. And so in that energy, that your objective is to be in a very relaxed energy so that you're as smooth as cool as the other side of the pillow, that you're as cool, that you have ice in your veins, and that you are the Iceman, means you can come in out of the bullpen and you can ice the game. And you have this presence about you that is very effective and that people feel it. It's charisma, it's love, it's joy, it's peace. It's an attitude that people feel from you. It's an edge, but not an edge that's so edgy that you alienate people, but it's an edge of posture that people feel. And it's a energy that people want to be a part of. And that it becomes your attractor factor. And if you look around you, the universe will let you know where you are in attraction. The universe doesn't reward you for who you are. The universe doesn't reward you for what you want. They reward you for the energy that you transmit. And as you raise your level of consciousness, you have a higher law of probability of being able to attract to you the type of people that you are looking for to fulfill the requirements of your business and your life. So if you require a general contractor, a painter, if you require a bricklayer, it's going to be your responsibility to be able to attract the people who can fulfill your requirements. And that means that it's important that you're able to understand what that really means. Who are the ideal candidates? Who am I looking for? Who is the person that can fulfill my promise? That's what you're looking for. I was just walking in my neighborhood before this call. I live in a very old neighborhood. My house is 130 years old, and a lot of the houses in the neighborhood are that old also. There's a neighbor that's rehabbing an old mansion, and it's amazing the contractors he has. And the man that's rehabbing that mansion owns 8 houses in my neighborhood. I know him. He lives across the street from me. I've known him for years, and he has a specific style that he goes about, and he has an absolute massive amount of people who work for him. He is very skilled at attracting the people who can fulfill his dream, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for people who can provide insight and wisdom and results to your dreams, provided you have any. But that also requires clarity. So the beauty of your dreams is going to be a byproduct of your belief or your disbelief. If you believe in your dreams, then you have a higher probability of manifesting them because the energy that you transmute is from belief. If you don't have a dream, if you're not certain about your dreams, if you're uncertain about most of your life, and you live in a place called doubt, then that's what you will continue to attract. But your dream or your why is a very important component of why you own a business. Typically, you won't be able to fulfill a why with the job, and although exceptions to all rules, but in free enterprise, it's going to require your creativity, your ingenuity, your ability to create on command, repetition and experience, preparation, then the execution, which is the result. The result is what will fuel your dream. If there's a property you want to own, free yourself from debt, or there's a charity or whatever it is you want to start, or there's a culture you want to build, that's going to be your dream. That's your niche. And there has to be a level of belief in it and the certainty that you have the ability to manifest, the manifestation of that vision. And that vision requires clarity that will not happen in brain fog, trauma bonds, anxiety, fear, and doubt, and other situations that most of the planet holds on to. For you to be the exception, for you to be able to transcend, for you to be able to break through, it's to let go of your anxiety, fear, and specifically your doubt. Because your doubt is the push-pull. It's the right-wrong. It's the duality. It's black-white. It's good-bad. It's win-lose. It's that dichotomy that most people continue to stay in, and they never really break free of it. So the breakthrough project, the breakthrough factor, is your ability, mine, it's in present tense, my ability to let go of the stories, the trauma, the procrastination, the avoidance that I hold on to. There's not a switch you flip. There's not a button you push. However, any given day, you can create significant change. The most significant change I ever created in my life is I decided to be sober. That was the most significant change of my life. And 38 years later, I am still practicing recovery. It's not something that I've licked. It's not something that I've defeated. Recovery is a one day at a time process of repetition and experience, improving my ability to separate my feelings from the trauma that creates an addiction. And if you're not willing to do that, you will be a chronic relapser. If you continue to live in the analytical, egoic mind that rationalizes, processes, thinks, justifies, and avoids, then you will recreate the same situation to fulfill the neurochemical craving of being disappointed. And if you can't admit that you're addicted to disappointment, frustration, or you're a sabotager, then that means you'll be in denial. You'll live in your same narcissistic tendencies that brought you to the dance that you never get to dance in the dance. Your higher self brought you to the dance. But if you're not dancing, it's because you don't believe you're good enough. And there's not a partner that's capable for you, or no one's going to want to dance with you. This is a metaphor for what business is like. And this is why so many people walk up to the dance, but they don't have the courage to ask someone to dance, or someone asks them to dance, and they are too afraid to dance with them because they'll make a mistake, get in trouble, say the wrong thing, embarrass themselves. And this is what happens to most of the planet. And so the breakthrough factor is courage. And when you access courage, you've actually broken through. That's the first step to breaking through. However, courage requires honesty. So courage without honesty is a very short-term wish. And you can't wish yourself to sobriety. You be and stay emotionally sober by committing to it one day at a time, which then creates the compounded effect. And so it's the same situation in a business. If you're not skilled at selling and you keep avoiding selling and you say, I'm afraid of the phone, it's not the phone you're afraid. The phone's a plastic instrument with wires and chips and SIM cards and other situations. It's not the phone you fear. It's the responsibility of what would happen if you use it for the connection. It's the anxiety about the outcome that hasn't happened. It's the story you continue to tell yourself that keeps you playing small. Because any level of success would contradict your averageness. Success would also show you up. Success would put you in a position that it would require you to be responsible. So the number one reason that people don't break through in addictions, because they're afraid of the responsibility. And so the fact that Thanksgiving's coming up or Halloween's coming up, well, I'll start after the holidays. The same thing, people go, I'll hire you after the first of the year. I'll buy from you after the first of the year. Let me check my finances. I mean, if you're a sales professional, you will hear these objections over and over. And if you're skilled at it energetically, you will understand that most of these people are lying to you. They have no intention of ever getting back to you. They're wanting off the phone with you. They're wanting out of the conversation with you because they themselves don't want to be responsible. And if you don't want to be responsible, how can you respond to their non-responsiveness? You can't. So in a conversation, your energy has to be present so that you're able to address the conversation for what it is. When someone says, I'll get back to you, it's your responsibility in that response to ask them when they'll be getting back to me. If you don't ask that question, you're not being attentive. But if you have anxiety because the energy that you live in is small, and the energy that you live in is based on trauma, and the energy that you live on is based on don't want to make a mistake because you've been criticized by narcissists and you're an adult child of critical alcoholics and pathological liars and serial cheaters and other people, you can tell yourself that I had great parents when you didn't. When you continue to tell that lie, live that lie, hold on to the past, and you just keep recreating the same situation, then you become a chronic avoider, chronic procrastinator, chronic relapser. The world is filled with them. If you commit to be the exception to the rule, then the emotional energy that you bring to life changes. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're in a different space than you used to be. That means that you have a set of habits. You become disciplined. You make your bed rather than rebelling against it. You wash your dishes rather than stacking them in. You put them away rather than leaving them in the rack. You vacuum the floor rather than just stepping on it. I mean, you take on a different level of responsibility, because the way you do one situation is the way you do most of them. You can't half-ass this over here and then expect to be exceptional over here. Because when you're a chronic avoider, you avoid responsibility. And when you let go of the responsibility of which you perceive the responsibility of being successful, well, how responsible are you being an addict? How responsible are you being average? How responsible are you if you carry a lot of credit card debt? How responsible are you if you have outstanding debts that you don't pay? How responsible are you if you lie to debtors about your debt? I mean, how responsible are you if you say you're going to do something but you don't? How responsible are you if you overobligate, enable, do more for others than you do for yourself? That's avoiding your own responsibility. That's why so many people are codependent, because they deflect focusing on them and they focus on someone else, because the ego believes that's easier, that's nobler, and that's I'm a good person, and that's how I'll get rewarded by being a good person. It doesn't work that way. You don't get rewarded for being a good person. You get rewarded for being productive. You get rewarded for production by the simple discipline and the repetition of doing the same thing over and over. But if you're a quitter and you move around and you have challenges committing, well, you're commitment phobic. I'm in recovery of that myself. But for you to ever break through, to experience the breakthrough factor, it's going to require you to understand that I am able to be and stay responsible in a relaxed body one day at a time. As I learn to master my emotions, the energy field that I'm casting in begins to change from being lovable, being good enough, being capable, and most importantly, you're able to commit. Commitment is the most important, it's one of the most important attributes that you bring to your life, is you're commitment conscious rather than commitment phobic. So when word is law, when your word is your law, you will speak only words of truth. When you understand the truth, then you're stepping out of denial. A large percent of the population does not want to understand what goes on behind the veil because it's too scary, it's too dark. They want to believe what the mainstream media hands them. They want to believe what they see right in front of them. They have challenges understanding conspiracy realities. They just call conspiracists crackpots and people who are crazy. Well, I'm not. I'm absolutely down the rabbit hole, and I study truth. Truth gives me the playing field. It doesn't set me free, but it takes me out of denial and allows me to have a better understanding of the world I live in. I've been following David Icke the last few days. I've known David Icke for years. I've been following his content in England because that's where he is right now. And if you go to his content right now, you can see what's going on in the digital credit world, in the digital ID. I mean, it's not scary, it's real. When you know the truth, you don't use words like scary. When you know the truth, you use words like truth. That's the truth. I mean, when it's the truth, and then you neutralize all fear. When all broken down, fear is the deterrent to almost everyone's demise. And so the ultimate fear is the fear of death. So once you stop fearing death, then there's nothing to fear. But yet so many people fear cancer, and then they end up attracting it. Or whatever you fear magnifies and it quantifies, and then you attract your reality, the very situation that you hold on to. It's the most element breakthrough of any level of recovery. If you fear you're going to relapse, you've already relapsed. Because an addict lives in an emotional cocktail. An addict lives off the cardio cocktail of the future that hasn't happened. An addict has to be busy. An addict can't rest. An addict cannot meditate. An addict can't turn their brain off. An addict has to be busy, not productive. And this is why so many addicts can't succeed in business. I'm not talking about alcoholics. I'm talking about emotional addicts, because you will over-obligate yourself to avoid the responsibility of focusing on yourself, because you've been traumatized by narcissists, passive-aggressive perpetrators, violators, parents, society that you're not good enough. So if you live consciously and unconsciously in a non-good enough energy, you're in a very short energetic field. So your reach is very short. So this is why synchronistically you will seldom ever have people reach out to you out of left field or out of the blue, those terms, and reach out to you. So that relegates you to working really hard and struggling. When you let go, and I was assisting a woman today on this, and she was saying, I don't have any signups this month, and I'm going to let someone down. I go, you're right. This is how she's speaking. And so as I coached her through an hour and brought her back down from up there, down here on the ground, where she could be present and she could focus on creating 4 transactions before the end of the month, 1 a day, which is not that difficult because she has it in motion. But when you're in anxiety, fear, and doubt, you're going to attract to your reality the very situation you seek to avoid. A cool, calm head, ice in the veins, as cool as the other side of the pillow. You have to bring the juice to the table in a relaxed body, and you let business come to you at times. You do the effort, and then the effort oftentimes pays off. But when you're frantic in force, or avoiding or procrastinating, it's not humanly possible to create the outcome, because what you'll create is disappointment. When you live in disappointment, you attract disappointment. When you tell yourself, oh, well, here we go again, this always happens to me, well, you're right, it does, because that's what you create through the energy that you're transmuting. When you can interject and intercede that thought right there, take a long, deep breath and say, this is today, today is this day. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is the present. I am here right now. Before I go to bed tonight, I will create the energy to create the results that I deserve to attract. You may not have the result, but it's the energy that attracts the result. And you must be patient, my student. You must be patient, my sage. So the energy that creates the outcome over and over will create the compounded effect. But see, the addict wants instant gratification. So they may have one of those days where the energy is there, but before they go to bed, they already start whining and complaining. And then they go to bed in disappointment. And instead of going to bed in peace, knowing that the effort was pure, the effort was clean, and so that effort will pay off provided you can let go. But if you continue to hold on to the same situation, you'll attract your reality, the same situation, to fulfill the neurochemical craving, which is the analytically egoic brain, because the pineal gland is shut down, prefrontal cortex is enlarged, the hippocampus is enlarged, amygdala, which is the emotional engine that searches for a familiar feeling, called the reticular activating system, the vagus nerve, which connects to the gut. All these situations are not in harmony. They're not in unison, because the trauma your body holds on to will recreate the same situation to fulfill a feeling that will give you the proof that you're not good enough. See, I knew this would happen to me. Unfortunately, that's where a lot of the planet lives. Now, that's not where you live. You are living in the present. And today, you're going to have an exceptional rest of this day because you're going to claim it. You're going to commit to it. And when you go to bed tonight, you're going to rest in a relaxed body because you're going to bring the rest of the day in your power to fruition. You're going to create results in a relaxed body today. Breathe, release, and let go. Thank all of you for showing up today with an exceptional attendance. I want to reach out to my good friend, Mr. T.C. Bradley. For those of you who don't know my whole history and story, Mr. T.C. Bradley is on today's Facebook Live. T.C. Bradley placed an ad in the USA Today on December 27th, 1996. That ad changed my life. I answered his ad. He was that man in the universe I was looking for, as I was $100,000 in credit card debt. TC is my sponsor in the business that I retired from, and I maxed out the pay line for 3 of my sponsors. It was an amazing experience. TC and I met David Icke the same time twice in the same year. We saw him speak in Jamaica. We saw him speak in Aruba. It forever changed TC and I's life. We met Ed Griffin that time. If you don't follow TC Bradley, go ahead and follow him. He's on Instagram and Facebook. He is God Made Millionaire. I was on his content today. I've already commented twice on his post. He's a man of God. He's a man of the cloth. He's a man of character. I highly endorse him. I love you, my brother TC. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I wouldn't be here without you. And he is the champion of champions. Give me a fist five. So thank all of you, my clients. I am so indebted and so grateful to have coached every single one of you on this Facebook Live today. I have coached, like every single one of you. Deep, deep, deep love, gratitude, and appreciation for you, for what you've done for me. it's been such a win-win situation over a 28-year career for me. On December 12th and 13th, I will be hosting the last Millionaire Blueprint of the calendar year 2025. If you're a coaching client, you can attend that event. It is not an event you prepay, you pay at the door. If you're a coaching client, you can attend for half price, $500, and you can pay at the door. Jeff Cregan, thank you very much for being here. Thank all of you for being here. Kevin, thank you for the love. I thank all of you, every single one of you on this Facebook Live today. I watched every single one of you that I saw. I have coached deep, deep gratitude for you, and you're so awesome, all of you. Have a great afternoon. Breathe, release, and let go in a relaxed body.